The first sign, I think, was being real oppositional, and we just thinking it's terrible twos. But it was to a point where he would have a lot of aggression with it. And then opposite that, sometimes he would have mood swings where, he wouldn't eat, he wouldn't sleep for days, he'd just cry a lot. It really affected Stephen's oldest sister, Joy. She wanted so much to be able to play with him and do things, but she was constantly afraid that he would attack her or get angry and hurt her or hurt himself. And when he got about 4, we were trying to find him a preschool program, and we went through the thing of him being put out of daycares and different things because of his behavior. Even at 5, he talked about not liking his life, not wanting to live, several attempts to run away from home, things like that. And just, I wasn't able to control him, and knowing that wasn't typical.
Stephen has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Because of his special needs, at age 5, Stephen was placed in a residential group home where he lived for a year and a half.
I had feelings that I deserted my son, that I was giving up on him, and he felt like I was deserting him also. I felt like it was the right thing to do. I felt for his safety and the safety of the rest of the family, but it was just so hard to let someone else mother him.
While Stephen was living away from home in residential treatment, Sandra learned about Pen Pal, a system of care for children with special emotional challenges and their families. Stephen and his family were accepted into Pen Pal, and Stephen moved back home when he was 6 years old.
The Pen Pal project has empowered me as a parent to be able to take control of a situation where I felt that I had just lost control, that I was just doomed to live my life out of control.
A team was formed to meet the needs of Stephen and his family as he returned home from residential treatment and to a school in his community. Today, 2 years later, Stephen's team includes his mother, Sandra, his services coordinator, his psychiatrist, people from school and church, a respite worker, and child care providers.
The Pen Pal approach operates on a strength-based approach. What that means is we at Pen Pal build on a family's strength as opposed to how we've historically worked with a family's weaknesses. With the new Pen Pal approach, the expectations are higher, and thus the results we've seen have been much greater.
Well, I'm a friend to Stephen and a mentor, and basically what I do with him is just do some activities with him on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning. What we do a lot of times is we'll go out into the field and throw the ball around and have Lincoln chase it, or he'll be our outfielder when we're playing baseball. It's really given me an opportunity to get to know the family on a more personal level as opposed to just meeting with them for an hour at a clinic or an office setting.
The church has been really important in supporting the family in the hard times. Even though we had the team from Pen Pal, there were a lot of times that in the wee hours of the night when Stephen was struggling, they were always there for me to call.
I've known Sandra since she was a college student at East Carolina University, married, then had children, and then became a single parent. We were there for her to counsel her and give her guidance concerning her son Stephen and some of his emotional problems. We've seen a miraculous turnaround from going through such a dark time because of her domestic situation to becoming a very strong single parent, and especially Stephen, who has just abounded in our children's church services, where at first he just didn't do very well because of what he went through, to now he's just like a shining star.
Systems of care like Pen Pal are so important for the future of children and families. It's a way that communities work together on behalf of children and families to promote success, safety, and permanency in schools and in homes and in the community. It's a partnership between families and the community, and it builds success. It builds capacity and self-reliance for the families.
Stephen is a much calmer child. He realizes that we can get help, that we have supports that we can call in when things get rough. So I think has made all of us kind of walk a little easier. I think it's made things go a lot better for us as a family. Even the girls know that there's support out here, that even in the worst of situations, we're not in it alone. And I really feel like now that I really can control what happens and control Stephen's future, lean it more toward a successful future.
A-B-C-D-E-F-G-H-I-J-K-L-M-N-O-P